Three things that you should know when it comes to customer prepared. One of my favorite proverbs is to fail to prepare is to prepare to fail. And the three things in B2B, especially in business to business, is to know your customer, to know how your customer thinks, and last but not least, to know the narrative of your industry. Let me give you an example for each one of these. Let me start first about knowing your customer. When I do my public speaking course, Address for Success, I always ask, what is your audience like? One of the 6 questions to get a great speech out, to get a great presentation out, is to know your audience. If it's a larger audience, like today's audience, we look at statistics, we look at numbers, we look at percentages. But if it's a smaller audience of 20 people, 15 people, then you go, as Jeffrey has said, you go Google them, you go learn a few things about them. Let me give you one example, that because social media now reveals a whole new world. This is one of my participants that came to the Address for Success. She came all the way from Egypt. Her name is May Gatt. If you look at her LinkedIn profile, this is what it reveals, or at least this is what I understand it reveals. First of all, May Gatt is a marketing director. She has 500 plus connections, which means that most probably she understands, which is the highest you can have. When you reach 500, it stops counting. You can have a lot more, but 500 means you're connected with 500 plus. It's most major accounts are 500 plus. So she understands that your network will determine your net worth at the end of the day. What else I see there is that she has studied at the American University in Cairo, and most probably she has influence from the Americanized way of thinking or acting or teaching. And she works at a property firm. Let's zoom in a bit further. This marketing person describes herself, because she's the one who has written this, as analytical skills, highlighted in red, implement commercial process, logical and analytical bent of mind with strengths to perceive beyond the obvious. These are not words used by marketeers, but these are words used by people who look at numbers and measure results. So if I'm going to go face to face with May, try to talk to her as a trusted advisor and help to relate and even win over the business, if I tell her working with my organization, with our organization will help you succeed, it won't do. But if I tell her what gets measured gets done, so we will implement processes and we will analytically look at every stage of the way so we can help you and your company reach success, it will most probably resonate with her. If we zoom in a bit further, we will see that what other people are saying about May, and I'm going into the second paragraph. May, this gentleman says, is a hardworking young woman who understands the objectives and outcomes of her duties. Once again, measurable things, objectives and outcomes. And if we zoom further in, we will see a whole new world revealed. May has worked for CocaCola and for Nestle for the past 11 years before going to her current company. What do Coca-Cola and Nestle have in common? Huge organizations, structures, processes, analytical. If you zoom in into her Coca-Cola paragraph, you will see grew sales of malt category by 47%, syrup category by 63% in 2016. It's all about numbers to this marketeer. The title might fool you. The rest of the story is told inside the LinkedIn account. Americanized Influence. She has studied in Cairo, but at the American University. And who does she follow? All Americans. If I exclude Richard Branson, who's English, and Arianna Huffington, who Greeks think she's Greek, and maybe she is descending from Greece, but all of them Americans. And for example, in my public speaking course, because I wanted to reach out to May and all the people who followed Richard Branson, and all of them followed Richard Branson because I looked into all 15 participants, I said the following proverb, and that hadn't had to do with sales, but it had to do with selling my proposition to them. I said, as Richard Branson once said, it takes courage to stand up and talk, but it also takes courage to sit down and listen.